I can't believe it. The public overjuiced this Nolan Wells situation so much that these guys are possibly getting away with murder. When the public census is this bad, they don't know how to persecute you when you're already being persecuted by society like this. People have taken over the job of investigators. People have taken over the job of law enforcement. And when I say people, I'm talking about the people that do blogs, people on TikTok, people that do vines, people that make shorts, people that give their opinions online. That's the reason why these boys will never see a day in jail, because this case has been flooded. It's overkill. People don't know what to believe or care what to believe. It is sheer entertainment at this point. So rest in peace to Nolan Wells. But y'all got to see what I'm talking about. Look at this.
Oh, these little liars. I told y'all that Jax was the ringleader. I told y'all. He sat in this interview and he was telling stories about shit that he wasn't even there to witness. So let's break down some of the stuff that I heard in this interview. Let's start with Warren's first phone call, because y'all will remember that Warren said that he was over at Ava's house for that 4th of July party when they all started realizing that Nolan was missing, and he called Miss Christine at 11 o'clock.
One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this.
And yesterday, the same time that this interview came out, Christine Wells said this.
See, they don't turn this into some Scooby-Doo madness, y'all. And think about this. Why would they do this interview knowing that the world is going to watch it, dissect it, break it down, unless that's what they wanted people to do? It would have been very unwise for them to sit down and do this interview for the public with their lawyer as if they're putting on for the court of public opinion. That's as far as it's going to go. And lo and behold, people fell directly into the trap. The more and more people talk, these guys are going to be able to walk. And they got people questioning, how real is this whole thing altogether? Is this a Hollywood production? Tyler Perry paid for the funeral. Colin Kaepernick paid for the autopsies. What's going on here? Y'all got to listen to this woman break it down. And everybody's celebrating this lady, but she's doing more of a disservice to Nolan Wells than anybody. Look at this.
I told her this.
And yesterday, the same time that this interview came out, Christine Wells said this.
360 says that he's on land, and he was like, well, no, I mean, when we have his phone.
So both versions of the story say that Warren didn't tell her about the phone until after she confronted him with the 360. Now, Warren tells Miss Christine that he knows somebody in the Coast Guard and that he's going to call them, which is very fucking different than calling the Coast Guard, which absolutely explains why the Coast Guard came out and said at first that they had not received a call from the kids that night. The Coast Guard's initial statement said they weren't informed until 12:30. Then the Coast Guard later changed their story and said, oh, wait, actually we did. And it seems to me that first call was most likely an off the record to a friend.
Why is she so excited, y'all? She happy as hell. She acting like she baked cookies for a living. You could see all of her teeth. Is that little Debbie grown up? Somebody explain it to me. Why is this lady so gung-ho about this Nolan Wells case? This is probably the most attention she ever received in her life. And she not stopping, man. Listen.
And kind of deal, which means these people freaked out and didn't call the Coast Guard until after all these people showed up at Jax's house. Which would explain why in the course of this interview, it went from Warren called the Coast Guard to we did. Now, when the subject turns to how the family got the phone back from these boys, you'll notice that there was a couple slip-ups.
Warren, you weren't at the house And so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So
Now remember, Warren just said that he wasn't at the house when the phone was got. And then Morgan talks about getting a phone call from one of the people in Christine Wells' group.
and how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating.
Except this picture wasn't posted until July 5th. Well, how could this picture have been circulating on Snapchat that night? But let's continue.
And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, "Where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him?" And then he was like, "So where are y'all at?" And I told him, I said, "We're at Jax's house." And then Warren got on the phone, and I don't know.
So they come to my house, right? And they kind of
Hold on, before we get there. Was it confrontational or was it just just trying to find? It was confrontational
Yeah,
already.
wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah.
He was 110%.
He was very
confrontational.
And when did this was this on the night of the 4th or the next
This
day?
was the night when they.
This is so damn goofy. Tatum looking like he about to breastfeed them boys. They can't get their story straight. Nothing's gonna happen to them. They probably never got spankings as kids. They probably never felt the belt ever in life. They don't know what it's like to be punished for anything. And it damn sure ain't about to happen now. The internet is like a baby punching with pillows for gloves. It can't do nothing to you no more. There was a time where the internet could do you bad. Once they find out, get some dirt on you, and they expose you on the internet, it's game over. Well, it used to be like that. But now, everybody's exposing themselves on the internet. There's no shock value in any of this. Because we don't know the difference between what's real or what's for play. And even if it is real, how real is real when everything is fake? That's where we at with it. The more I will show y'all already see the timelines. This is all everybody is talking about. This is all that's worth talking about. This killed celebrity news or whatever. All that shit is dead. It's all about Nolan Wells. And I'm afraid that if somebody else don't drop, people ain't gonna have nothing to blog about. I mean, people turned into gluttons. Them food reviews is giving people diabetes like a motherfucker, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's either death or food. Food or death. Like I said earlier, rest in peace to Nolan Wells. We gotta move on. Because this is making me sick to my stomach. The more and more people talk about this, the more and more it turn into a joke. It's looking like these boys done got away with murder. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, man. Hit them like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button too. Let's get back into this news, man.
Wyatt, you're on the phone with C-Toe right there. But you're being towed as well by the fart. So the fart is towing you in this picture. But you're also calling C-Toe for a tow? Why do you need another tow if you're already being towed, Wyatt? Why would you need to call C-Toe to be towed if the fart is towing you? Make that make sense.
Okay, y'all got to keep in mind, with all these people hating them on the internet, they got twice as many fans from all over the world that support them. They getting letters written in Cantonese that's full of support. People see what's going on. Oh, fuck Nolan. Nolan Wells, he's nobody. They getting support in other countries. That's what a Nolan Wells get. He should have never been on Horn Island. I've been to Horn Island, a dangerous place for people like me. They getting support all around the world. You got Aborigines, Biggie, small face people talking about how they didn't do nothing wrong. So Nolan, I know you in a better place, bro. But this is show down here. And, you know, I don't already talked enough about Nolan's mom. I'm going to leave that one alone. But in all honesty, This case will never get solved. Look at this.
This was before they came and got the phone. So this is the night of the 4th, yes.
You guys are missing a part of the story. How did you get from Ava's house to Jax's house? Because Miss Christine is watching you guys on the Life 360. So suddenly she's seeing the phone leave one location and go to another. Of course I would be upset. And now all of a sudden Warren is there when the phone stuff starts happening? He's listening to the phone call? Now I need y'all to remember that Warren also said that the phone was in his truck on the first conversation, as we have from this report. Meaning if we were to believe Warren that he was not there when everybody showed up looking for the phone at some time in between 11 and 1 a.m., so then that would mean after they heard this angry phone call, Warren gets the phone out of his vehicle and puts it in Jack's house and then leaves.
There's probably like 10, 15 people in my house I don't even know. And they're all up in our faces, going crazy, asking where Nolan is, and we don't know. And finally they get into Wyatt's face and they're like, "Where's your boat? Where's the boat at?"
Demanding his address.
Demanding his address and stuff like that. And he finally ends up giving it to him. We give them the phone. They have the phone at this point. Then they get the address to his house. Then they go to his house. And they're searching all over his boat, what I heard and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I don't really know much about that, but they come back.
Hold on, I know Tatum ain't at their house. That looked like a boating rod hanging from the ceiling. So they invited Officer Tatum over and put him in a big white couch. He at the crib. Run, Tatum, run. Get away from them, man. Before you know it, Tatum gonna be floating face down in the river somewhere. With some old Negro humming. He better get that. What? I thought that he bossed up and invited them to his house. But no, they told him, come on over, shoot. They probably fed him and everything. Paid him in cash, gave him a briefcase so he could bring his podcast to the house. That's how comfortable he is with these guys. And it got to be an exchange of money on both ends. Look, they're going to get opportunities they probably would have never got if this would have never happened. They inducted into a secret society and they don't even know it yet. They're going to run them through a trial. Like, how come my doorbell is not ringing? I got in my car. There was a mask and a robe. What the hell is this? You've been inducted. Seen the Nolan Wells case. You three are the chosen to take this international global company to the next level. Riot, Brad. You are now the founding CEOs. They're going to have opportunities out their ass based off of the Nolan Wells situation. It might be a rites of passage in Mississippi. Okay, put it like this. There are some proud people and there are some not so proud people. There are some proud men and there are some not so proud men. There are some proud women and then there's some not so proud women. There are some proud boys.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's some not so proud boys. They're all American. Just like that lawyer said, there's some good kids. They come from. I want to hear Trump's say it. I want Trump's take on this. Oh, Nolan, that's so sad. I heard he was a good kid. Yeah. Well, those other kids, they're even better. They just are. You know, they're all American kids. I love those kids. One of those kids look like they could be one of my sons. Oh, it's just sad what happened to Nolan. Black people can't swim. That's what they say. I don't know for sure, but that's the census on black people. They rarely swim. Maybe Nolan should have found some other friends, someone that could have, helped him, understood him a little better. I wonder what Trump got to say about it. One thing for sure, these kids not going to jail. Because if that do, that means Nolan mama and his daddy gonna wind up going to jail too, or worse. They better hope these boys don't go to jail. because they not going to be able to be comfortable out there in them streets. That's like Carmelo Anthony's parents. They better be happy he's in jail. As soon as they locked him up, that's when all the death threats stopped. That's when all the harassment stopped. What you want them to do? Their son in jail, he's serving life. He ain't going to college. He gonna come home with a degree in pimping when he get out of jail. Hey, man. But at the end of the day, when you really think about it, this is a lesson for everybody. You gotta have boundaries. You gotta know when to say no. You gotta know when to not go or don't show up. Or if it's outside of work, you ain't got no business hanging around like that. Depending on where y'all at. Now, if your white friends want you to come to a Lil Wayne concert or something like that, then maybe Weezy will help you out if he see an altercation going on. Travis Scott, on the other hand, not so much. And there's nothing wrong with having friends of different nationalities, but if some go down, man, they're gonna do you like some toilet paper and flush it right after they get done wiping their ass. This is so sad, man. But I'm making this video just to reiterate and let y'all know why I'm doing this. I'm making this video to let y'all know that the internet killed this case. The internet flooded it. It's doomed. There's nothing else to do with it, man. It's been sabotaged. What the people in law gonna do with this case? They're gonna try to determine the case from the bloggers. The jury already been tainted. You can't have them stand trial for some global shit like this. People killed the trial. And I think that's in everybody's best interest. If you get in some shit, you better hope it go viral like this and let it be racial. And if you on the other side of the fence, most likely you got a chance to get off. Because if somebody toothless auntie do a blog and it go viral and they talking bad about you and everybody hitting the like for her funky ass, that's doing you, that's a disadvantage. But hey, we gonna move on. I got a lot to say about this because I've been watching countless videos over and over and they all saying the same shit. They done remixed it so many damn times. They running out of sauce. It ain't nothing else to do with it. I done seen Nolan tacos. Niggas slinging Nolan burritos. Niggas got that Nolan pack. Making Nolan salads. Ain't no other way they can mix it up. Make a Nolan brisket and put it out there. It's a Nolan Wells buffet online. Don't nobody want to see them boys go to jail. People too busy making good content out this shit. Shit, when they in jail, ain't nobody gonna have the scoop on how they living. A blog about Wyatt running out of toilet paper. A blog about Brad dropping the soap. Don't nobody want to see that, man. Okay, we gonna keep this thing. How long I've been on here? And people ain't, I don't know what's going on with that comment section. I checked the analytics and they said that my audience is 60 and up. So shout out to all the senior citizens watching out there. I know y'all got arthritis in your hands and can't hit the like button. I used to be frustrated until I seen the analytics and realized that my audience is basically in the nursing home. Shit, I'll never be able to bring this channel back to life, especially when my audience is almost dead. You look at the comment section, they got Alzheimer's. They forgot how to do any of that shit. All they know how to do is listen. So I appreciate y'all for listening, man. But put your teeth in and give me a shout out the next time you get an opportunity. All right, let's get back into this news. Y'all listening? Here we go.
Back to my house at around 1 o'clock in the morning.
We called law enforcement. I was with Wyatt at the time, and we one of one person we were with saw that their location was headed towards Wyatt's house. And so Wyatt got on the phone with 911 and was like, hey, these people are on the way to my house or already at my house. My mom and my dad are there alone and they know nothing about this. But Wyatt's mom actually, when they were looking at the boat, they were actually walking from the boat and she came out and started talking to them.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Wyatt, Morgan, and Jax were all together. Warren was gone for some reason at this point. 10 to 15 people just barge into your house. Don't know why your grandparents weren't around. That might explain some things, huh? Guess y'all had the house all to your fucking self that weekend. But then they ask Wyatt for his address so that they can go look at the boat. Wyatt gives them the address. They start heading over there. Wyatt and Morgan get into a car and leave Jax's house. Somebody else that you were with that we aren't hearing about is tracking someone else's phone. I don't know if it was somebody who was with the group that they had access to or if they were tracking Nolan.
Lady, shut up. She doing too much. We heard what they said. We see the fuckery. Let Ben Crump or somebody figure it out. Leave it to the professionals, lady. That's like being at the crime scene all behind the tape, licking the evidence. You rolling around in the damn the residue and all that, and they just letting you do it. That's why they put up that tape. To keep people, do not cross this line. Leave it up to us. Let us do what we do. And you sit back and you wait for the news. When we get the news, then you'll get the news. Don't go making up the news. This is a major problem. You got these people all in the investigation lab. And like I said, she probably baked cookies for a living. And found the entryway to get into it's easy access, man. And we talking about somebody losing their life. They turn this shit into Hollywood. You can get sponsorships and everything. I bet you she gonna be on Good Morning America before you know it. Tissatel's gonna be mad in the motherfucker. This the new Tissatel. Fucking Rosatels. Like, listen, everybody, Nolan wasn't dead. Let's get that part out of the way first. But, before he died, there was a stipulation of things that happened before he passed away. His friend Wyatt, Brad, all of them, they got together. Give you the whole rundown with excitement. She taking over for the 99 and the 2000. What if she got a dunk? Oh, it's really gonna be over. Let her get up and turn around and all you see is them cheeks. It's gonna be a bunch of brothers out there subscribing to her channel. She gonna put Tasha K out of business. Listen at her, y'all.
Nolan's phone, and they saw it was heading to Wyatt's house. And even though Wyatt gave...
Hold on, run that back a little bit. She biting her lip and everything. She killing it, y'all. She like, I got these niggas in the chokehold. Like, she killing that Nolan news. God damn, she putting in overtime. This lady go hard. Listen at this, y'all.
And started talking to them.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Wyatt, Morgan, and Jax were all together. Warren was gone for some reason at this point. 10 to 15 people just barge into your house. Don't know why your grandparents weren't around. That might explain some things, huh? Guess y'all had the house all to your fucking self that weekend. But then they ask Wyatt for his address so that they can go look at the boat. Wyatt gives them the address. They start heading over there. Wyatt and Morgan get into a car and leave Jax's house. Somebody else that you were with that we aren't hearing about is tracking someone else's phone. I don't know if it was somebody who was with the group that they had access to or if they were tracking Nolan's phone and they saw it was heading to Wyatt's house. And even though Wyatt gave them the address and instead of calling his parents, he calls 911 and tells them, my parents don't know anything about that's going on. Can you send police over there? Now, mind you, it was about half an hour after being on the phone with Warren that Christine was...
Wait. So Wyatt called the police on Nolan mama? Wait a minute. Hold on. When they was headed to look at the boat, he told the police to get there before they got there. Wansley said, if she don't get her ass out the way, I'll be able to read this, man. Wansley said after some back and forth between the different agencies, jurisdiction confusion with the island being on Mississippi to Jackson, some needed report later that night in McDonald's parking lot. Get your
able
ass
to
up.
actually call and report him missing. But she was having to go back and forth and go down to all these different agencies because nobody would fucking help her. And frankly, I want to know why all of this confrontation was left out of the fucking report. Like, if this family had to be removed from 2 different properties by the police, why is there no record of that? And in fact, it wasn't until after these confrontations that MDMR and Ocean Springs Police apparently had their little conversations about who was going to be taking over the case. Because remember, the Jackson County Sheriff Lieutenant told them that deputies had spoken with several friends that had traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan, and that when they were left, he was in the company of an unknown female. So now, even though Warren had supposedly called the Coast Guard, all these family members are telling the police that the kid is missing. These are the people that last saw them. They're all like, we last saw him on the island. Still, the deputies said that they did not have reason to believe that there was any water-related exigencies or emergencies.
Okay, like, we heard them all, man. Well, get her out the way, man. Let me see this for myself. Records show that a JCSO lieutenant told MDMR that his deputies had spoke with several friends that had traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan, and that when they left, he was in the company of an unknown female, and that he chose to remain at the island. Based on the information provided, the deputy, so they was riding away, and Nolan was standing on the beach with a babe. All right, bro, do your thing, Nolan. Have fun, baby, yeah. Like, yeah, I'll tear this ass up. I'll find a way home. Yo, keep my phone, keep my keys, man. Keep my keys hot for me when I get back. You know what I'm saying? I bang this broad and we'll get back home, you guys. I want to hear how Nolan sounded. If he was corny or not. Like, well, hold this babe's hot and stay on the island, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, y'all go back. I'm gonna kick it with baby boo boo right here, you know what I'm saying? I got my own little Pooh Bear. Yeah, no lag. Hit that ass for me, bro. Hand it back, yeah. Woo! The further and further they get away. The further and further they get away, the further and further. Let me shut up about this, man. Because this ain't no laughing matter. Let me not get too excited and get too goofy speaking about a murder trial. But can you imagine them? They on the boat, and the further they go, the less they see Nolan. And they just stop giving a fuck after a while. Like, yep, he's there. Yep, he's back at the island. Check, got his phone, got his keys. Put this on the Xbox when I get back in the house. You know, he'll figure it out. No one always finds a way. They told Officer Tatum that they always pick up Nolan. He said he don't never have to drive. That's just what we do. They was talking about picking him up like he was a dog. We love Nolan. That's all we do is pick him up all the time. We love picking up Nolan. Yeah, like he a puppy or something. So they drove him all the way out to the island and left with like they got a boat Uber or something he could catch back. Keep my phone, keep my keys, I'ma catch the Uber, the boat Uber. A boober. Back to the mainland. Hey, if they expect the public to believe that, but you figure they think we got animal-like strength. So Nolan could have turned into a dolphin or something and made it back to land. Like, don't underestimate their physical prowess. His athletic body, I see him score 52 touchdowns in the game. Like, when Nolan touched down, he's going to touch down. And when he touched back on the mainland, they get a text from Nolan from somebody else's phone that say touchdown. I don't know what they was thinking, but he's going, and they all spooked. And when you look at them, one, it looked like Freddy Krueger. The other one looked like Jason Voorhees without the mask. And that little muffin top, the one in the middle with the muffin top, he could easily play an insane clown. He don't even need much. Just give him the red nose. Yeah, have your kid jumping, screaming, and crying at the screen door. Let me back in. Are you gonna do your homework? Yeah. Are you gonna clean your room? Yes, mommy. Please let me back in, mommy. Please let me back in. This motherfucker, I don't trust none of them. But hey, this the thing, right? When we talk about mothers, you know, matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. Hit that like button, subscribe for me, please. All right, man. Let's keep it real for all my fellas out there. Let's keep it, and no disrespect to the moms out there. First of all, they in Mississippi, you know, and they keeping it together. They married and all that. They in love, they holding hands with it. They got kids and everything together. But them fights probably be crazy. You can't say they ain't never fought or they never got into a fight or they never got into a situation, because all couples do. You know, couples, they have disagreements. But what I like about Nolan Wells' parents, even though that's his stepdad, they're sticking together throughout whatever they've been through, even if that took for Nolan to not be at home like that. Because a lot of times when kids get grown and they want to do their own thing, after a while, parents tell them, hey, since you grown, don't bring your blackness back home. Or you don't want to abide by my rules or whatever the case. Or there's situations to where the older kids, they feel like they want to branch out because they got younger siblings and they don't want to be in the playpen with their little brothers and little sisters like that. You know, they'll come around and spend time, but they don't want to feel like they're one of the kids. So I got a feeling that could have been the case with Nolan Wells. People try to make it seem like his mom was a bad mom because Nolan wasn't home or he wasn't living at home. Nolan probably had the mentality to where, you know, he was feeling himself. He big, tall, he taller than his daddy, taller than his mama. What do he look like hanging around there waiting for her to spoon feed him or whatever? He was a very social person. So yeah, Nolan was out there in them streets. He was doing what Nolan do. That don't make her a bad mom, because she got an older son and shit, them balls drop. And he running with a pack of wolves and they be out there on Horn Island. This is what I would like to know. What was it like the previous year when they went to Horn Island? Because they say they do this like every year. Well, I know for sure they said they went out to Horn Island last year. So I wonder how that went down. It must have went good if Nolan decided to go back or they all decided to go back. But if this is a murder plot, like a lot of people think it is, then that means they had to plan taking him out there and taking him out. And if that's the case, it was a horrible plan. That's what leads me to believe that it was something just like that audio suggested. There was something that went down and they was playing too rough or whatever the case, and no, messed around, killed Nolan, allegedly. And instead of taking that heat, they all was suckered into, you know, whatever this bullshit story they got going on. They freaked out. But you figure after a while, somebody's going to crack. But if you crack, that means that whoever the owner of the boat, their grandparents can go to jail. Can you imagine their grandfather on the news? Big saggy face, old as dirt. He got millions of dollars. They put him in cuffs because of Nolan. I never even met the kid, man. I'm in here serving life. I'm 85 years old. I know no fucking no. It was not my fucking boat. It's my. I put the gas in that boat. You little motherfucker. I hate them. They grandfather probably break out of jail just to strangle them to death. He ain't going. So they gotta do what they gotta do, man, to keep their grandfather out of jail. Unfortunately for Nolan, this is sickening. And once again, let me let y'all know, the reason why I'm making this video is because the internet completely flushed this case. Ain't no way Nolan could get justice when everybody and their mama got a public opinion. Listen at this.
They did not have reason to believe that there was any water-related exigencies or emergencies. Don't worry, y'all. I've got a lot fucking more to say about this stuff. So come back for part 2. I'm going to be immediately recording.
She running a deli on YouTube with this bullshit. She's like, you ain't heard nothing yet, Poppy. I'm running the block. She came and shut the shit. Bloggers ought to be upset with this lady. She need to check in, man. She just come set up shop on a Nolan blog. Y'all come right back. I'm working on some shit. I quit my job and all that. This is my face. I'm gonna be doing Nolan from now on, okay? Now I'm gonna hit y'all with a bang on the next one. If you like this, tell your mama, tell your aunties, tell your sisters, tell your cousins, your brothers. This is where you get the news from. And you know the word is spreading about this lady. It's some old lady right now just got a notification. And when she hit that play button, all she gonna see is this face. And I ain't mad at it, but somebody need to make her check in. We need to do a background check. She might be did some Nolan shit. Excuse my language. She probably did some stuff back in her day that we don't know about. Got all her neighbors kicked out. She called the homeowners association on her black neighbors or whatever. We don't know what she done did while she talking about Nolan's friends. But let's get back into this, you guys. Because she got motion. Look, she came back with more makeup. Look at this, man.
Playing with the contrast in this picture. Playing with the contrast in this picture to try and get a better picture of the pattern on Morgan's swimsuit.
What's wrong with the contrast? We need it. Get it right.
Playing with the contrast in this picture to try and get a better picture of the pattern on Morgan's swimsuit from Nolan's mom's Instagram from the day after he went missing. This was the picture that she was sent. Oh, these little liars. I told y'all that.
The fuck? Lady, get to the point, man. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna get her right. She acting up. But listen.
Up to my last video, I wanted to show you this. This is from Nolan's mom's Instagram from the day after he went missing. This was the picture that she was sent. So naturally, these two pictures should line up, right? So what I did is I made sure to line up this little like black loopy thing here. I made sure to line up this part of the boat and this like rope here. Now watch. Look at the difference here. Look at that.
Man, somebody get this lady off the damn internet, man. Hold on. Wait. Get this together. Yeah, get her ass off the internet, y'all. Told y'all she acting like the cookie lady and everything. She poking out the side of the picture with her hand on some Ronald McDonald shit. The only difference is she faded the pic, man. She need to cut this shit out. She act like she got magic tricks. Playing with Nolan name like that. I don't like none of this stuff that's happening out here. It's too damn easy. A brother dead, that's open game for anybody. Especially, you know what? It's American culture at this point. Is black man dead? Like, oh, what's the story? It'd be different if it was some black kids and Nolan died. They'll lock them up just for the fun of it. Like, man, we ain't do nothing, so That'd be Reverend Al Sharpton. So, like you niggas ain't worth no money. Ben Crumper locked him up his damn self. Like, I have a dream that all these YNs go to jail. Ben, you call Ben Crump, you call Ben Crump talking about a black on black crime, he gonna hang up in your face so smooth. I gotta go now. You call back, but Ben, now don't be calling my phone about this shit, man. I got real business I got to tend to. Hey, Ben, my white coworker just stabbed me in the back. Like, is there blood? And how big was the knife? Like, no, he ratted me out and I lost my job. Like, I ain't got no time for that shit. Crump ain't trying to hear it if you ain't talking about no white on black crime. Nobody trying to hear it, really. I think the last thing people care about is that Asian on Asian crime. Because I seen some movies where they was beating each other's ass. And it was quite entertaining, man. Don't nobody care about no black on black, no Asian on Asian, no Latin on Latin. Again, Jesus killed Pancho. That ain't gonna make no international news, regardless of what it was about. The Mexican murder. Like, he killed my Bobby. Like, that's too bad. It ain't gonna, if it do make the news, it's gonna be a 10-second clip on your local news. But on the 4th of July, a great American holiday, you have a white on black murder in America. That could get the water cooler cooling. People, that's a good old American pastime that we all just a little too accustomed to, a little too comfortable with. You know, and Nolan's mother, she playing her part in all this. Look at this.
And he was our bright light. As far as that day goes, went to work, and he was making salmon, so he was FaceTiming me as I'm trying to see patients kind of in between, of course not answering the phone in the room. And he's like, hey mama, how does this look? Is this enough season? Like,
no, you know damn well you answered that phone in the room with the patient, begging for more Jell-O. She had to slip that in there because she knows she under investigation. She said Nolan FaceTime her early in the morning on the 4th, making salmon. You figure it's the 4th of July, we gonna barbecue, you know, bust out the pit. Maybe he was making spam or something like that. Some Filipino salmon out the can. Look, you know they do sell the salmon in the can. He probably made that with some rice or something for his family. But she said that Nolan FaceTimed her while she was at work. Like, my mom in here hooking it up. Yeah, got the eggs going, got some salmon. Like, you hungry? This is her story. Listen.
like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was like, okay. I was like, you know, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, you know, I'm gonna take care of it. I was like, okay, sure. And so he finishes cooking, get home. He's like, yeah, what you know about this? And he was, guys, when I tell you, he loved to joke. Like, he was just one of those people. He wanted everyone around him to smile, be happy, feel comfortable and accepted. And that is the kind of person God made him. You know, us as parents, we definitely had that.
It's too soon for all this, man. For them to be on board with these expos and things. They got her bottled water, flowers and plants. She's on the damn, where the hell is Oprah at? She's on stage. She's doing public forums. It ain't even been a whole month like that. And they already on it. This has nothing to do with getting Nolan some justice. And they know that part. They're obviously comfortable with the fact that all of this stuff that they're doing has nothing to do with getting answers or getting justice for Nolan. And that's why I say that these boys are possibly, allegedly, getting away with murder, y'all. We're past Nolan Wells. That's the old stuff. They already had the funeral. He's gone. And what happens next? More entertainment. They stringing this shit along. It's no telling what they're gonna do next. It sounds like she preparing for the documentary with these intricate details about his life. And with all the people that's intrigued to hear her story. And whenever somebody's talking too much about a situation, that's when you ask them, what are they selling at the end of the day? Because nobody's going to keep on talking and wasting their time for nothing unless they're extremely bored. And she's not that old to be the babbling old lady. And I know that she lost her son. And grieving is different for everybody. This is probably a way of releasing a lot of her stress. Because I don't know what it's like. You know, hey, all I could say about Nolan's mother, in all honesty, is that she's a very, very strong woman to be able to push through this month the way she's been pushing through this month. She a champion. I think we need to celebrate her, man. I ain't never seen nobody mama push through it like that. And I'm not talking about her, but there's a lot of people, their mama don't give a fuck about them. Never did. And never will. It's cold like that. Just because somebody's a mother don't make them a loving mother or a good mother. There's people that have kids all the time. They ain't got no business with no kids. Should have never had kids. And a lot of those people keep on having kids. They don't know what to do with the kids. I doubt if that's the case with Nolan's mom. There's people that never have a connection with their child. They give birth and everything. And that's for men and women. It's definitely with men. There's plenty of men out there that don't feel a thing for their damn child. It ain't no love, no nothing. They'll treat their child worse than they'll treat somebody on the street. So it's not always natural for people to be right when it comes to their kids. That's why I commend the parents out there that do a good job, or at least try to do a good job, because you got other people out there don't care if their kids rise or fall. And if something happened to one of their kids, there's no real emotion about it, because they, what they call it, that postpartum depression or something. We'll say that for another video. But his mother is definitely not helping his situation at all. She's the reason why the internet is flooded. And what tripped me out, she thanked the bloggers. She thanked the people that's putting out content on her son. That's like somebody taking a picture of you while you in the casket and posting it online for all your ops, for everybody to see, for pure entertainment. That's something you should never do. There's people out there that go to funerals and take pictures of people in their casket and put it online. I don't know who gonna like it. What is there to like about this shit? But people do it. They have 20,000 likes. Like, they like the fact that you dead. But that's where you need to be. That's an insult. Can you imagine being posted online in your casket and over 1 million people hit the like button? How would that make you feel? You might not even get into heaven with them type of ratings. But hey, people do. I don't think people are aware of the disrespect that's going on. And Nolan, I swear, man, I ain't got nothing but love and respect for you. And for the people out there watching, make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel too. I'ma holla at y'all on my next video. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe. You know you want to, you might as well subscribe.